The Impressionists were a group of painters who focused on painting light and movement. This week, we're learning about the artist Berthe Morisot. Morisot was a female artist, and there were not many female artists at the time. She wanted to paint outside so that she could capture light and movement of the sun and how it reflects on objects outside. She mostly painted scenes that are very still, like women sitting in a boat or a girl reading in a garden, but she shows movement by putting the paint on the canvas very fast. In my demonstration, I'm going to show you how you can show movement in a picture, even though the paper itself isn't moving. My first step in setting up my picture to have a lot of movement is to use a lot of curved lines and curly lines and bumpy lines in the drawing. You can tell that a picture has a lot of movement if you notice that you're looking around at a lot of different things. So if a picture is causing your eyeballs to move around a lot, then it has a lot of movement. My next step is to add color. I like to use crayons because there's lots of colors in that box of crayons. I'm using jagged lines, zigzag lines, scribbles, and squiggles to color this in. I'm on purpose going really fast to color this because I'm trying to show fastness and movement in my picture. If I wanted it to look very neat, I would color slow so that I don't go out of the lines. But I want this to look sloppy on purpose because I want it to have lots of movement. I want you to be able to tell that this garden has some wind blowing through it. Maybe there's lots of colors that are blending together as well. In the trees, I'm using some scribbly lines to color in all those leaves. The only part of my picture that I want to be still is the sky. So as I color in the sky, I'm coloring in a back and forth horizontal direction. That adds a little bit of calmness to my picture. I don't want the entire thing to be too much movement. That might be a little bit distracting for people. I just want the viewer, I want you to notice how bright and wonderful this garden is, but not be overwhelmed by how much movement is taking place. When we get together on Wednesday for our meet, I would like to draw together as a class. So I will have a still life object and we will draw it together. I will demonstrate how to create some shapes and how to create the drawing. Then we can color together as well. So bring a paper, bring something to draw with, and bring something to color with. I like to use crayons, but markers would also work really well for this too. So bring these three things with you on Wednesday during our meet. You do not have to create an assignment before our meet. We're not going to do a show and tell this time. I'm going to try out having us create something together in class.